gentlemen. A little wet, but
No, stay there.
good to be back at the track finally. At Shell, as you normally know, if you come on our media lunch, we always have a safety briefing, so there are no planned fire drills. If you hear one, it is real. There is going to be a muster point at the men's bathroom out here to the left if we do have an emergency, but hopefully that won't be the case. Real quick, we're going to give you guys a quick view of a video that's going to give you a snippet of what Bud and Roger and folks are going to talk about today. So, Tammy, we'll check this video.
Penske Corporation is a global leader in transportation services. Our businesses include more than 3,200 locations across 9 countries and 4 continents. Our relationship with Shell is critically important as our business focuses on decarbonization and sustainability with the goal of zero emissions in the future. Shell's domain knowledge and expertise has helped us with many of our key initiatives, including a fully electrical vehicle test fleet and multiple OEM partners, DC fast charging stations managed by Shell's Greenlots subsidiary, and telematics systems to improve fuel efficiency and safety in our vehicle fleet. Shell has also provided solutions for our long-term strategies with energy-efficient options for our businesses globally. Our partnership with Shell helps us deliver value for our customers, and we will work together to meet our shared sustainability goals for the future.
And with that, I want to bring up Chairman of Penske Corp, Roger Penske.
And thank you, and welcome everyone. This is a little bit different program this morning. We normally have drivers and crew chiefs and team managers, etc. here. But we thought as the world is changing, that we should take a look at our future. Certainly, as you saw in the quick video, the relationship that we have with Shell, and the technology that they bring to our organization. And when you think about over 300,000 vehicles that we operate throughout the country, we've got a big job going forward. And this partnership is long, it's deep. It's just not at the racetrack. It really is a common thread through our entire business. So we thought this morning we would talk a little bit about where we're going to make this country a better place to live in. And obviously we have some goals here at the Speedway. I'd like to say that before we get started, we're excited about what's happened here over the last couple of weeks. You probably didn't know it. I think Doug's here 3 weeks ago. We didn't know if we were going to have anybody here at the track. And we kept meeting with our friends at the city and the mayor and their people at the health department agreed that we could have 135,000. We've hit that mark. We've sold out. We've had the opportunity to lift the TV ban so people in this market will have a chance to be able to see the great race. We have, as you know, Rio. I always wondered how many seats we had, so I counted it. 235,000, so just let you know for sure. So we're going to have 100 that people aren't sitting in it for the race, but it's going to be great. And we're excited. Last weekend, we hear the crowds cheering based on the qualifications, something we haven't had here in a long time. So as a company, Mark Miles and certainly Doug's here will be part of our panel today. Doug, you guys have just done an amazing job. And I can't tell you the partnership that you have within your organization. Adam and many people are here today. I don't know all of you that certainly SJ and I don't see everybody here, but congrats on what you've done. But I really think that we want to open up America. We've seen it this morning on some of the television shows. That's what they're talking about. And we're going to open up America with the largest sporting event in the world coming up here in the next couple of days. So to get started, I'm going to have Bud Denker, Doug Bowles, and Danny Silva, Vice President of Enterprise Accounts, come up and start our program. So I'll turn it over to you guys. Thanks everybody for coming.
can change lenses and go wider to do that. They're Doug and I'm just going to be smaller. Do you want to do that? He'd be like, okay.
For years now, words that we've heard about as a company for years ago, for now. But now we're taking a journey to start this path of decarbonization of our organization, our company. You know, for years we've had a partnership with Shell Oil Company. And they brought in over a decade ago, came in to help us run our business. When you saw the video a minute ago, we have over 300,000 trucks on the road today. Possibly the largest fleet in North America, but also possibly in the world. 300,000 units on the road. We will sell this year in our retail automotive centers over 500,000 vehicles around the globe. Here in the US, in the UK, in Germany, in Spain, and in Italy. 500,000 vehicles. And of course, we have the Team Penske organization and now Penske Entertainment. The common thread in all of those platforms of our business is Shell. Shell. Under the hoods of all of those trucks that we have on the roads today are Shell Rotella products. At our dealerships around the world are Shell products. And of course, under the hoods of our Indy cars and our NASCAR teams are Shell products as well. And now, official partner here at the Speedway with Pennzoil too. So, common thread through everything we do. As Roger will tell you, we need partners. And we've had partners that built these businesses for now for 50 years. Capital partners like banks, technical partners out there like NTT and others, and resource partner and global partners like Shell to help us run our businesses. And this journey of sustainability and decarbonization is something we can't do ourselves. We just can't. We don't have the resources, the expertise, or the technical competencies ourselves. So we've now aligned with Shell, and as of this morning, we've announced a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, which is a new strategic collaboration with the Shell organization to help us decarbonize our business, okay? It's a complicated process and it's also a journey, but there's a lot of examples that we've already started in this journey that Danny and I will talk a bit about, and Doug will talk about that journey here at the Speedway, which has already begun as well. You know, we've got a big business, we've got a lot of employees around the world, and we have a lot of responsibility to this world as well. But a few key examples of the journey we've started is, with those fleet of vehicles we have, those 300,000 vehicles, we've already established a fleet of totally electric trucks in the California marketplace. These are your Class 8 semi-trucks, these are the box trucks you saw in the video. And in one example now for Starbucks, we're running a complete route of Starbucks in California that's fully electric. Fully electric vehicles now delivering to Starbucks stores, the distribution center to the stores and back. And many customers in California have raised their hand and said, we want to be part of this understanding and the journey, to learn about it, but also be part of the decarbonization efforts of their own customer class. So, great example. We have another example regarding decarbonization in our automotive facilities. In one of our automotive campuses in New Jersey, we have 65 HVAC systems on our rooftops. Some of them operate well, some of them are old and operate well. Shell has installed sensors, okay, and monitors the output of every one of these HVAC systems to see how they're operating, how much energy are they using, and are helping us in that journey in terms of lowering our energy costs and lowering energy usage, saving us tens of thousands of dollars a month, and also saving a lot of energy usage as a result of that. So this journey goes across the entire supply chain, from facilities to distribution centers to our trucks to our fleets, and hopefully into our homes. And then more closely from that is IMS, which we've now been purchase, as you know, last January 6th, less than 2 years ago, we purchased this amazing tabernacle of speed. And Roger will talk about our investment in the past, over $20 million of capital investments in less than that 1.5-year time period. Many of them to the customer experience, but also many of those experiences lending themselves to less carbonization as well, that Doug can give some examples on. So a little bit different approach to our session today, but it gives you some example of the importance that we see as a company, as a large global company, in the responsibility that we have as a global company to give back. Climate change is an issue, we all have it, we all know it. We want to be part of that journey and contribute to the solutions around that. So that's why we're here today. We're proud, Danny, to be partnering with Shell, our partner in so many fronts, but now this new front in terms of our journey to decarbonization. So Doug, why don't you talk about what's happening here at the Speedway, if you would.
Well, thank you, Bud. Thank you, everybody, for being here this morning. It's fun to listen to you. One of the things when you run a racetrack, you don't necessarily think about the relationships with brands and the teams, other than sort of the advertising side and what goes on that front. And I've had a pretty neat opportunity over the last several months to get a glimpse into how powerful the Penske relationship is with Shell, and how together Penske and Shell are working to make a huge difference. Obviously, the Pennzoil brand is an important brand here to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It has deep history here, and we continue to have that history with Pennzoil through our events here, and we appreciate the support that Shell gives us through Pennzoil. But I've been on several phone calls, I've been on several Zoom calls where the top level, Danny, Roger, Bud, others across the organization are talking about and committed to sustainability. There was a period of time where we all heard about reducing your carbon footprint. Then it became, how do you become carbon neutral? That's not what we're trying to do here. We're actually trying to figure out how to become carbon negative, which was surprising to me that the two organizations are really moving that far forward and that quickly, especially with 300,000 plus trucks on the road. And you're a business that, from an outsider, you look at it, you think you guys don't have any interest whatsoever in being carbon negative or carbon neutral, and it's been amazing to see. So some of the things that we've done here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and this relationship has given us an opportunity really to advance that. And before I go on, I want to introduce two people in here who have championed this effort inside our walls before Roger Penske, but we sort of got in their way. And now with the Penske and Shell relationship, we're giving them some wings to fly. But Lauren Gadati and Logan Waddell, Logan and Lauren, thank you so much for all that you guys are doing to help advance this and keeping us all moving forward. So, you are the next generation of folks that will be leading the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and other places, so thank you for all the effort. But in 2019, we actually did a waste management study where waste management comes in and they offer their expertise and help you understand what your footprint looks like, where you're doing things really well, where you have a lot of places for improvement, and we had a lot of places for improvement. But we sort of put that on the sidelines and didn't really activate it, and then when Roger and Bud heard that we'd done that, especially through the Shell relationship, we pulled that back out. Logan's been working really, really hard. In fact, we're going to go through this weekend and really try and update that piece of it. But early on in Roger's tenure here, even before the closing date on January 6th, Roger got out, started walking around the facility, and really was focused on customer experience. It wasn't focused on how do you generate more revenue through investment, but how do we make the customer experience better? Because long term, that'll generate more revenue, it'll bring more fans in, and we started looking at places inside the facility. Very quickly, Roger realized we were very far behind. So all of the restrooms that many of you have heard about that we've invested in over the last 1.5 years. We've gone through lighting. Some of the lighting had been there since just shortly after World War II. All new LED lighting. All of the faucets where in the old days, and by old days I mean pre-Roger Penske, when we had an event, we would send a team of people through 165 public restrooms to make sure all the faucets were turned off. All those faucets have been changed so they automatically go off. One of our biggest challenges throughout the month of May is our paper product. What do we do with them? There's so much paper product. So in our restrooms, we've eliminated the bulk of the hand towels and the things that created such a mess for us, but also goes to a landfill somewhere with air dryers. So as you go in, you've got more environmentally friendly restrooms. We worked with our local power supplier, IPL AES, and we are now purchasing credits or the energy that we get. Costs us a little bit more, but the energy we get is coming from sustainable, renewable energy, not from the traditional energy. So just little steps like that are some of the things that have happened in the last 6 months. And we've got a long way to go, and that's part of the reason we're updating that waste management study for this year so that we can begin to move forward. But through the Shell and Penske relationship, we now are starting to talk about how do you use the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Indy 500, and the NTT IndyCar Series. So not just the facility, but the cars that are on track. How do we use that as a way to continue to encourage others to get on board with Shell and Penske, and let's all make a difference. And if we can make a difference through our platforms in entertaining folks, we believe that we're going to make a difference across the board. So we've even had organizations that are other partners of ours, sponsors of the NTT IndyCar Series and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, have already raised their hands, and you can see them perk up in conversations when they know we're doing this and they want to be part of it. So thanks to Shell's leadership, I think we're not going to just do this with Penske and Shell. We are actually going to bring others along, and it is going to make a difference. So I'm pretty excited about it. What makes me the most excited, though, is when you see Logan and Lauren, you see the faces of these young people who are going to be leaders here, who can't wait to get here and make a difference, not just in the customer's experience, but using this platform to make a difference. As Roger said when he talked, we're going to make a difference in the world, to be good leaders, and just really blessed to have the opportunity to do this. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Bud. And Danny, thank you for letting us have a glimpse in what I had no idea was a huge, huge effort for Shell. Really proud of the effort that you guys are doing, because if you guys can do it, everyone can do it.
Thanks, Doug. So first of all, it's just a privilege to be here, right? And you can see from my accent, I'm not from here, right? It's my first Indy 500. I'm from Brazil originally, and Brazil is well known for being a great place, loads of nice sports, not just soccer, but people are crazy about motorsports. And I'm not different. I don't go away from that as well. I mean, I'm always saw great race drivers, and to name a few, Fittipaldi, Ayrton Senna. I know Formula One, but he actually drove an Indy car back in the 90s. And of course, Indy most recently as well. And when I was a little boy in Brazil and I was seeing this track and what's happening on this track over the television, I would never imagine that I could be here today. But I could see all these people making history on that track, on this track. And I think today is almost one of these days that we believe we can make history. These challenges that both of you alluded to, they are quite complex challenges that the society has entirely. So Shell, just for providing a few context, we just in February set our strategy to be a net zero company by 2050 or earlier in step with society. And that's a massive pledge out there, given the industry that we are, given the history of our industry. And that challenge is something that you cannot do alone. You need partners. You need an ecosystem of solutions to really make sure that this is a reality. So it all starts with a bold planning, a bold aspiration, but it comes with delivery, and fast delivery. And I cannot think a company better than Penske to be together with us in this year. So, like Roger said, like you said, Bud, there's a strong foundation of what we do for more than a decade now. Loads of learning, loads of understanding of each one of businesses, and the partners. There are some mutual partners. So I think the power of decarbonizing is not what we do with each other only, but it's how that builds an ecosystem to go beyond. How do you take this to decarbonize others? How do you provide solutions that together we can join forces and provide meaningful options and solutions for customers? I think we have very good, bold ambitions as well, with very solid foundations and tangible results that we've been seeing with some pilots, some initiatives that we're doing. And today, I'm very happy to announce that we are taking this to the next level. We are signing a memorandum of understanding, like Bud said. And the idea is really to accelerate that pace, accelerate mutual consumers, mutual partners, really going beyond the boundaries of what we can do with each other to others. And I think another example that you can see on the track as well, the Pennzoil lubricants, they for now are running on net zero, so they are a net zero certified lubricant right now. So there are some small elements that all combined make all the difference. And when you look into the decarbonization aspect, for the ones that are quite familiar to scopes 1, 2, and 3s, the biggest challenge that you have is on scope 3s. And that's where you need partnerships, right? Because we can do things with each other, we can reduce energy consumption, decarbonization aspects are easier, not easy. But when it comes to the likes of Starbucks, for example, that's a different beast. And how do we take those learnings to break that chicken or the egg dynamic? Should I invest first and then hopefully demand will come? Or should we wait demand to come and then I'll invest? So I think that's the exciting journey that we have ahead of us. Again, it's a privilege to be here. Again, I consider myself a lucky person to be here right now at this point. And again, I think 10 years from now, I would like to see my first Indy 500. That actually was a moment for making history together with you. So I cannot thank you enough for the partnership, for the collaboration, for the trust, most importantly, because it is a journey that requires a lot of trust. But I just wanted to make sure that it's a quite exciting journey ahead, and you have both teams, Penske and Shell, really feeling like a one team. It's a one solution. It's not two companies anymore. It's really a one team trying to drive these solutions together. So thank you all for being here. Again, very excited and looking forward for a great weekend as well.
Thanks, Danny. And as Doug mentioned, you probably haven't heard that word, net negative before. You heard net zero, right? Net neutral in terms of ambitions. But we in this facility for IMS have a goal of being net negative, meaning giving back in terms of the opportunities around sustainability versus taking in and taking away. So big responsibility, big opportunity. This is a journey we're starting with you all, the media, today, but a journey has been going on with our company here now for several years, and now we're defining, we're measuring, we're quantifying, and making it very important. Roger and I, from a corporate leadership standpoint for our company, take this very seriously to the fact that now we're pushing these goals down into our company throughout, whether it be in the automotive side, the truck side, or even the racing side of our business. So we appreciate you all being here. We appreciate you being part of this event this weekend. I heard Mike Tirico, say it well. He said for the Today Show this morning, their Today Show is all about reopening of America. Reopening of America. What better place to be there than this speedway? One of the most iconic Americana things there is, right, to have than to be here and open up our world today here at the Speedway and open up America. So we thank you. We look forward to an amazing weekend with you and an amazing remainder of the series as well as season 2. So thank you all very much. Enjoy your breakfast. Any questions you have for us also, please see us individually afterwards if you have anything, okay? Thank you.